Why you need Greenfield Analysis in your supply chain in 4 minutes. Welcome to Simulation Made Simple, the video series designed to help you build better models, make better decisions, and improve your process. In today's video, we're going to talk about why you need to incorporate Greenfield Analysis, or GFA, as part of your supply chain strategy. Let's start with why we should incorporate GFA in a supply chain design. The goal of Greenfield Analysis is to determine the optimal number of distribution centers and plants and to find the optimal location of distribution centers and plants. Imagine if you're a supply chain leader tasked with new initiatives: minimize cost, meet a specific service level, reduce your carbon footprint, etc. You know that the highest cost in your supply chain and highest environmental impact is in transportation, so what do? You decide the best way to reduce cost and minimize your carbon footprint is to optimize the number and location of your DCs and plants so that you are as close to your customers as possible. GFA is a great way to approach this problem. Since it's relatively quick and easy to use your data, GFA gives you a good foundation for productive, data-driven conversation. From the name, Greenfield Analysis, it's obvious this is a great approach when you're building a supply chain from scratch, but that's not the only application. GFA is valuable when you're introducing new products into a market or making competitive changes to your supply chain, like guaranteeing a service level or committing to carbon footprint goals. Another neat thing about GFA is that you can compare your real-world supply chain with what an optimal supply chain design would look like. Why is that valuable? Changes have been made over time without considering the whole supply chain. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of business. But GFA allows you to take this system that's in the real world and compare it to what an optimal system looks like if you were building it from scratch today. There's always fascinating insight that comes from using your data in a GFA. So what does GFA look like? Here's a picture of the USA with a few blue dots. Those dots represent customer locations. The data used in Greenfield Analysis includes customers, locations of customers, products, demand for each customer and product, and the direct distance between customers and DC warehouses. Traditionally, it does not consider roads, but with tools like Any Logistics, you can incorporate GFA with roads. I'll show you an example of what normal GFA looks like and GFA with roads and why that matters. Here you'll see the same screenshot as before with customer data on the left, and the new screenshot shows the result of the GFA model with an optimal number and location of distribution centers. If you want to dive into Any Logistics and see how a model like this is built, it's super easy. Check out the 4-minute video called Greenfield Analysis by Any Logistics on YouTube. So in this screenshot, the distribution centers are represented by red dots. You can see that they are somewhat centered around where customers are located. In this next screenshot, I'm showing the connections between the distribution center and the customer, so we can quickly see which customers are serviced by each DC. Now this fourth screenshot shows GFA with roads. It uses the same set of data as the GFA method. The GFA with roads experiment obviously considers actual roads along with populations of cities, and so the results are more accurate DC locations. It's a little bit hard to tell here, but they are in slightly different locations than in what the simple GFA model was. So finally, let's take a closer look at one of these DCs. While they're in similar locations after both GFA and GFA with roads, so GFA with roads puts us closer to the infrastructure required to meet our service and cost levels, and thus find the optimal location for our DCs. If you build your GFA in Any Logistics, you can use your GFA as a foundation for network design, network optimization, supply chain master planning, transportation, optimization, risk analysis, simulation, and visualization. Now, I want to dive into simulation because it's unique to Any Logistics. When you pair supply chain simulation and optimization together, you can address problems that cannot be solved with optimization alone. Simulation captures important characteristics of your supply chain that aren't considered in optimization models. That's time, random events, variability, and system interactions in your supply chain. If I asked you what's unique about your supply chain, I am sure a few of your answers would include some aspects of time, random events, variability, and system interaction. So it's incredibly important to capture these with simulation. With optimization, you get a plan for your supply chain, and with simulation, you find out how to implement that plan and how it will actually perform in the real world. Simulation and optimization work together to help supply chain teams make better decisions. That's why you need to use Greenfield Analysis for supply chain design in about 4 minutes. Simwell is the leader in simulation and optimization solutions. If you need help with Greenfield Analysis, or you need to find the right tools to do it yourself, we can help. It starts with a conversation. email me at the address here or go to simwell.io and click Start the Conversation.